Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I am still in the garage for another day of working on the gray JL. So right now what I'm working on is a deep clean on the JL. We've already washed the outside. I'm probably gonna have to do it again after creating some more dirt and everything after doing some work on it. But I've got to get the inside of this thing clean. It is absolutely filthy, and that is one of the things I hate the most about buying used vehicles, especially ones that have been off-roaded heavily, is there is a lot of dirt and crud built up in these things. So I'll give you a little shot of the inside. I've already done a quick vacuum on the carpets. As you can see, I have completely removed the seats to get a good clean on this thing. But look at all that dirt and grime in this thing. It is absolutely filthy. So I'm gonna work on getting this thing cleaned up. Like I said, I've got the seats out. I still gotta vacuum those, and we're going to shampoo those. I think I'm actually gonna pull the carpets completely out as well. I think there's a lot of dust and dirt built up over the years underneath the carpets. So I'm gonna get that all cleaned up, and I'll clean the carpets outside of the Jeep. So. But definitely have this thing torn apart. Look at all that dust and dirt in here. This thing needs a really, really deep clean. So we're gonna get that done, and I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. All right, so this has been quite a bit of work, but got everything pretty well cleaned up. We'll probably have to do a quick blowout of some of this stuff. Got all the parts I took off in the back there. But yeah, everything's definitely much cleaner than it was. So here's one of the back seats. So the other one might be a little bit better, but these things were definitely pretty gross. 60,000 miles of dirt and grime and off-road use. And yeah, the seats are black again. They were kind of a brownish gray. So looking pretty good so far. I'm gonna do a fabric protector on the seats and the carpets, let that dry, cure, whatever. And then we'll get started on reinstalling everything on the inside of the Jeep. I do have some work to do on the outside. I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup on the outside because it's just gotten dirty from doing other things. But gonna go ahead and get a wipe down on the outside, clean up a couple of spots. Then I'm gonna tape off all the graphics. I gotta do a little bit of polishing left still, and then we can get going on ceramic coating it, and then get the thing actually done. So making progress, but a lot of work still to do. A lot more parts to put on still. So I need to get going. Anyways, one of the things with this Jeep when I bought it is it had this spare tire carrier, but no rear bumper. So I finally ordered the Poison Spyder rear bumper that matches. Did not realize at the time that it has pockets for lights to go in the rear bumper. So I didn't order any lights with it. So I got my buddy Keith over here helping me out because I've got a lot of work to do on this thing and a short amount of time to do it. And he came up with the idea of using some things I already had, and the KC Highlights Cyclone flush mount. We're drilling those in, and we'll put some KC Cyclone lights in there and tie them into the reverse circuit. So that those come on just like the other two Jeeps. So getting going on this. I'm working on ceramic coating the Jeep. He's working on the bumper. So, and I'll help out where I can on that. But so we're getting it through. I'll show you when we got it all put together. All right, so we're running into a small problem on the rear bumper on this Jeep, and it all comes back to the fact that this thing didn't have a bumper on it at all when I bought it. So what we have is the bumper going into the frame here is supposed to utilize some factory brackets and factory hardware to attach the aftermarket rear bumper. But since there was no rear bumper on this at all, none of that stuff is around. So we're having to kind of figure out what to do. It's going to be a bit of a process, but I think we'll be able to get this thing knocked out. That's unfortunately one of the problems with buying something used that is missing stuff. You know, that's the way they ran it, and there was nothing wrong with that. I wanted a rear bumper on it, and we're going to make it happen. But kind of expected that it was going to be a bigger process than just slapping it on. So we'll keep plugging away at this and see if we can get this bumper on. All right, so it took quite a bit of work, especially since we were missing some factory hardware that we needed, but the rear bumper is finally on. Check it out. So these are the KC Cyclones that we decided to mount into the existing holes. That made it super nice. We got the spare tire carrier on. That really just kind of finishes off the back end. So far I'm pretty happy with that. I'm glad it's on. One project done. And obviously we've got a lot more work to do. Still got the entire interior out of the Jeep. So we need to get going on that. So gonna finish up a couple things here and then we'll get going on the next project. We've got a few more things to do and I'm gonna show you a little bit more in depth when I do those. So if you're enjoying the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and stay up to date with this Jeep JL build. And let's see what kind of fun we can get into.